So guys, the Commanders are heading into this season with a serious question mark at the wide receiver 2 spot and with Brandon Ayuk's social media behavior raising red flags around the league. Washington needs to start looking at their options seriously. Stefon Diggs is still out there, still a free agent, and this DMV native has actually come out and said he wants to play in Washington. So today I am going to break down why Diggs might just be the move the Commanders need to make and why the Ayuk situation is getting messier by the day. What's up, Commanders Nation? Welcome to the NFL Playbook, Commanders. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So let's start with Brandon Ayuk, because honestly, this whole situation has just been something to watch unfold in real time. So, according to Adam Schefter, and this is someone who is dialed into the league at a level most of us can only imagine every single time Ayuk opens his mouth right now, he is damaging his own standing around the NFL. And, that is a pretty serious thing to say about a guy who is actively trying to land on a new roster. Teams around the league are reportedly asking themselves, what is wrong with this guy right now? And that is not the kind of conversation you want happening about you when you're trying to exit a team and trying to get on another winning team and get paid. It is unsettling to watch, and I think a lot of people around the league genuinely feel that way. And look, this is not the first time we have seen this from Ayuk. Think back to 2024 when he was pushing for his contract extension from the 49ers, doing the same kind of thing on social media, subliminal posts, Instagram stories, all of that. Then we saw it again last offseason while he was rehabbing from a major knee injury, still under contract in San Francisco, and still doing the same stuff. And now here we are again this offseason, and honestly, it feels like every single day there is a new post, a new story, a new message that all basically says the same thing. I want to play for the Washington Commanders. At a certain point, you have to ask yourself, is this helping or is this hurting? And I think the honest answer is, it is hurting. Schefter made it very clear that teams around the league are being scared off by this behavior, and here is the thing that gets me. Ayuk is still technically a member of the 49ers right now. He's still under contract with a team that paid him a lot of money, and he's out here on Father's Day posting, going Commanders, calling his former employer stupid for giving him that contract. Like, guys, that is just not a good look no matter how you spin it. It does not matter how talented you are. If you are making the organization that you are trying to get too nervous before you even sign a contract, that is a real problem, and I think anybody who is being honest with themselves can see that. Now, Schefter also said something really interesting. He mentioned that he actually asked Washington directly about signing Ayuk, and at the time leading up to the draft, the Commanders had questions about him. And those questions, in his view, probably still exist today. So what does that tell us? It tells us that Washington is not fully sold on this guy. They are watching, they are paying attention, and they are probably weighing very carefully whether the talent on the field is actually worth the headache off of it. And here's what I think, though. If the Commanders were truly done with the idea of Ayuk, they would have already gone out and signed another wide receiver 2 option by now. There are still legitimate options on the market right now, and the fact that they have not made that move yet tells me they are probably still planning on signing him once the 49ers release him, which most people expect to happen right around the start of training camp. So, in my opinion, Washington has probably given Ayuk and his representation at least some kind of signal that they are planning to bring him in. Because think about it, why would Ayuk keep narrowing his options down to just Washington if he did not have at least some level of confidence that this was going to happen? His agent is not going to let him torch every other potential landing spot unless they have some level of assurance that Washington is the destination. That just makes sense when you really think about it. But, and this is a big but, even if all of that is true, this deal is very much close to lose right now. Nothing is signed, nothing is official. And if Ayuk does something really over the top on social media, if he does something that completely crosses a line, the Commanders can absolutely walk away from this thing. And honestly, if Washington walks away at that point, I do not think any other team steps in to sign him. His future in this league would be very short at that point. So, if I am his agent right now, I am telling him to shut it down completely. No posts, no stories, no nothing. Just train, stay in shape, stay ready, and let this process play out naturally. That is the only move that makes any sense right now. Now, we know that beside Brandon Ayuk, Stefon Diggs' name is being called whenever we talk about the Commanders need a true wide receiver, right? Now, look, I've been thinking about this a lot, and now I believe Diggs is exactly what the Commanders need, and I honestly think he is a better fit for this team than Ayuk at this point in time. Let me explain it to you. It's pretty interesting because Diggs himself has come out and basically said he would love to play in Washington. He sat down and told Fox 5 DC that there is a part of him that really wants to come home and play in front of the fans he grew up watching as a young kid. He talked about what a moment that would be for him personally, what it would mean for him and for the city of Washington. And look, I get it. He is a DMV native. Washington is home for him. That connection is very real. Now, some people might hear that and say, well, that sounds like he is more focused on the feel-good story than actually winning. And I understand that take completely. Honestly, when you're pitching yourself to a new team, the conversation probably should be more about what you can do for Jaden Daniels and David Blue's offense rather than what it would mean for you personally to come back home. I hear that criticism, and it is fair. But here's what I would say. That does not change what Diggs actually brings to the table on the football field, and what he brings is still very real and very valuable. Think about what he did with a young quarterback in a completely new situation last season. The numbers might not have jumped off the page, but he showed he could still get open consistently, still make plays on third down, still give a young quarterback a reliable target when things get complicated out there. Now take that and apply it to Jayden Daniels. You are talking about a quarterback who is electric, who can extend plays, who has that play action ability that just absolutely kills defenses. Imagine Diggs running a crossing route across the middle, 15, 17, 20 yards down the field, and Jayden pulling it out of a play action fake and hitting him right in stride. That is a real play. That is a real weapon for this offense. And right now, the Commanders genuinely need more of those kinds of plays in their arsenal. And honestly, guys, the price is not going to be crazy for Diggs. He's a free agent. He wants to be here. You are not going to have to break the bank to get him on this roster. So, the risk is low and the upside is very real. That combination honestly does not come around very often in the NFL, and Washington would be smart to take advantage of it. Now, I know some of you are going to bring up Brandon Ayuk again and say, well, he is more talented, he is younger, he is the better option. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend Ayuk is not talented, because obviously he is a really good receiver. But talent alone does not win you anything if the guy is a distraction before he even walks through the door. Inside the building, Stefon Diggs has never really had his professionalism or his work ethic questioned by anyone. His issues in the past have been more about personality clashes and contract situations, sure. But when it comes to showing up, putting in the work, and being a professional on the football field, that has genuinely not been the concern with him. Whereas with Ayuk right now, you honestly do not know what you are getting from a behavior standpoint. And in a win-now season for Washington, I personally want the more stable and reliable option in that receiver room. Then there are other names floating around out there too, guys. Tyreek Hill, if healthy, is a name that gets attention. Keyshawn Butte has been mentioned in trade discussions. DeAndre Hopkins is still available in free agency. Brian Thomas Jr. has had his name connected to some trade rumors as well. So, it is not like the Commanders are completely out of options if the Ayuk thing falls apart. But if you were asking me which move I would make if I were running this team right now, I am picking up the phone and calling Stefon Diggs every single time. Zero hesitation. Because at the end of the day, Jayden Daniels needs weapons around him. He needs options. He needs guys he can trust in the biggest moments of a game. And with Terry McLaurin already in that room, adding Diggs on top of that gives you a receiving core that can genuinely stress any defense in this league. You're talking about two experienced, reliable guys who know exactly how to get open and who understand how to show a quarterback that they are open. That matters enormously, especially for a young quarterback who is still growing into the full weight of his role in this league. So, guys, that is where I stand on all of this. The Ayuk situation is messy and getting messier by the day. Stefon Diggs is sitting right there, available, affordable, and genuinely motivated to prove something in Washington of all places. To me, the answer here is really not that complicated, but I want to know what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. True or false, Stefon Diggs is a better wide receiver 2 option for the Commanders than Brandon Ayuk right now. Type T if you think it is true, type F if you think it is false. I read every single comment, so let's get a good discussion going. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do. Hit that thumbs up as well because it really does help the channel more than you know. We are building something really great here and I would absolutely love to have you be part of it.